Hi, this is Jill Roberts from Psychic Today, and I have some exciting news. I've created a website based on you, the audience. So only you guys will be able to access this information. So it's based on the show because we're going through this journey together. And I thought it was important to have a space for you. If you had any comments or questions, or you're interested in any services, or just wanted to, voice your opinions. So the website is psychictodaywithjillroberts.com. Again, it's the name of the show.com. psychictodaywithjillroberts.com. You can leave any questions or comments. You can email them at jill@psychictodaywithjillroberts.com. Again, that's Jill at the name of the show, psychictodaywithjillroberts.com. And if you're interested in any of my services or courses, you can text or call at 917-336-0054. Again, that's 917-336-0054. And if you're calling from outside the U.S., you use the country code 1 and then the number 917-336-0054. There is also a Facebook group, just for this audience, called Crystalline Exploration. So just check it out. You can search it in Facebook, find it, and request to be a part of the group. And there we'll talk about everything that I go over in this show, especially the crystalline exploration, where we're talking about different types of minerals and gemstones and stones that are not too common. I try and I'm always searching for new and exciting stones that can do amazing things both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So I hope you enjoy the content on the website. Again, that's psychictodaywithjillroberts.com, and I really can't wait to hear from you. Hi, welcome to Psychic Today. I'm your host, Jill Roberts. And today we're going to talk about stones that affect the 6th and 7th chakras, which is your third eye and the crown. And I'm going to talk about some stones that make you feel wonderful, happy to be alive, and just filled with joy. So stick around. I'll be right back, and we'll continue this crystalline exploration journey together. Hi, and welcome back to Psychic Today. I'm your host, Jill Roberts. So today I want to talk about specific stones that adhere to the 6th and 7th chakras, which is the third eye and the crown chakras. Now, the 6th chakra is a very powerful energy source when it's working well. So, of course, it determines your intuition, your alignment with the universe, and your ability to see the bigger picture in life. It's where you get visions, clairvoyance, inner mind pictures. When you do channeling or mediumship, the third eye is where you're going to get your visionary experiences from. So, of course, where it's physically located in the body is in the center of your brow. And the color of stones that go along with it are basically indigo. They're kind of a bluish purple. And and there are many, many stones that go along with it. Its element is extrasensory perception. Again, this is the chakra that is utilized a lot in channeling and mediumship. So there are stones we're going to be talking about that are going to enhance this chakra and the crown. Now, the crown is the highest chakra in the physical body. And it's what determines your spiritual connectivity. This chakra is sometimes called the 1,000-petal lotus chakra, given its place as the highest chakra in the body. It is vital in creating a life you love and attaining feeling of peace. And it's also where you feel your vibrational ascension start. It's the highest point above of the body before the ethereal and etheric chakras above the head. So its physical location is the top of the head. The color is violet or white. I tend to use white stones and crystals. Some people prefer violet, but a lot of the time violet corresponds more with the third eye. But since they're very closely related, then you can interchange violet for the crown if you like. So its element is thought and spiritual experiences, interdimensional experiences, astral travel, telepathy, those types of elements. So now the first stone I want to talk about is selenite. And the reason why, I know a lot of people know about selenite, but there's another stone I just found that corresponds. It's a type of selenite. So what I want to do is I want to talk about selenite first and then get to the other stone. Just know every single stone I talk about, I have used. So I will never talk about stones that are interesting to me that I've never meditated with, introduced myself to, and had experiences with without talking on here. So whatever I'm talking about, these are my experiences. Of course, everybody experiences stones differently, but I would never talk about a stone that I haven't used. So selenite has to do with spiritual activation, communication with the higher self, spirit guides and angels. The element for selenite is wind. And of course the chakras are the third eye, the crown, and the transpersonal and etheric, which is 8 through 14 above the head. Now selenite is a hydrous calcium sulfite mineral with a hardness of 2. So it's very soft. It is not a stone you would want to cleanse by water. And for me, I tend to cleanse my stones with Palo Santo or sage because smoke can't hurt them. A lot of stones can't be put in the water. I was taught many years ago that you have certain stones like selenite and other ones that cannot be put in water. So because of whether they will disintegrate like selenite would, pink Himalayan salt would disintegrate. Anything ending in ITE is not good to be run through the water. So, for me, the best bet is to either do breath or smoke for cleansing my crystals. Anyway, I'm just mentioning that because of the hardness on the Mohs scale is only 2 for selenite. It is a form of gypsum, and it's called selenite if it's relatively clear and well formed. It's closely related to fibrous gypsum, also known as satin spar. and the massive fine-grained form known as alabaster. Its crystals are typically tabular, with striations running along the length. So you'll see selenite wands that are 3 to 4 inches. You will see them tumbled into different shapes. They are wonderful because they can charge and cleanse other crystals. The best known and most popular selenite crystals for metaphysical use are the long clear crystals from Mexico. Now, selenite quickly opens and activates the third eye, crown chakra, and the soul star chakra above the head. The intensity of energy derived by selenite is greater than almost any other stone for the upper chakras. A selenite wand pointed at the third eye sends energy that can feel like a gust of wind through the forehead and out the top of the head. Selenite is fast and effective at cleansing the auric field, and it can clear congested energies or negativity from one's physical and etheric body. Crystal healers are recommended to work with selenite wands, which are ideal for purification and all types of energetic cleansing. When one attaches other stones to selenite wands, their energies are magnified many times. When one combines several stones and attaches them to a selenite wand, the energy of the group are blended and amplified, emanating the wand as a harmonious whole. And I think I've spoken to you about this before. I make a lot of selenite wands. I use the 3 to 4 inch selenite sticks, and I'll take a hot glue gun and I'll put on certain stones for my clients and family members. So if I have somebody who is very anxious, there'll be certain stones I put on there that will help with anxiety. And they hold that, they keep that. I tell them where to put it and how to put it on the body, and it helps with panic attacks and stuff like that. And that's just for that specific client. You can put other stones on them for vibrational ascension or heightening your frequency, like the azestolites. You can make a selenite wand for any disorder, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. They are wonderful when it comes to that. Selenite can also lift your awareness to higher planes of inner experience, making it possible for one to consciously meet one's spirit guides and guardian angels. It facilitates the experience of receiving advice and information from one's guides in the form of interior movies. So here, it's, the experiences come visionary with the third eye. And one can close their eyes in meditation while lying with a selenite wand resting on the heart chakra and pointing towards the head. If possible, another selenite wand can be placed on the floor or a pillow, with the point just touching the crown chakra. As one moves into the meditative state, one is likely to see one or more guides, often in forms that symbolize something about the message. The guide or guides will take one through a quote-unquote kind of story that reveals the message symbolically. Words are seldom used, which makes the guide's job much easier. When one might say, selenite opens the inner eye and spiritual world enters. So it's great for channeling, it's great for mediumship, because it's going to amplify your clairvoyant sense. Selenite's an excellent stone for building energy grids in one's home or outdoors. I use them a lot in my grids for my clients or myself. I will always put selenite on one of the rays of the grids that I use. A group of 6 or more wands, or at least 8 inches, can be arranged to create a miniature energy vortex, which can be disassembled or reassembled as one wishes. Lying down in the center of such a grid can bring about experiences of spiritual ascension. Selenite combines synergistically with almost any stone or combination of stones. It's willing to blend and amplify whatever energies one wishes to work with. Therefore, selenite is an ideal material for making energy tools with other stones. And what's wonderful is that you never need to cleanse it. It will also cleanse other chakras. So that's another way you can cleanse your crystals if you have a selenite plate or a selenite wand. You can put the crystals on there. And I generally do this after I have saged them, then introduce myself to the stone, and then programmed it. If I've used it, then I will put it on the selenite wand. If it's just for me, not a client, I will put it on a selenite wand to just cleanse any energy off of it, but keep the programming. So, of course, if you want to boost it, you can definitely use moldavite, phenakite, tanzanite, dambarite, any of these zestulites, brookite, sachuloka quartz, naturalite, any of the Synergy 12, and it can be used on the third eye or placed along the axis of the spine, on the front or back of the body. It helps to raise one's vibration to the highest, fullest, and most harmonious possible frequency. So it's also a key that unlocks your doorway to the etheric chakras. So once this doorway has been consciously opened, the higher self is free to establish itself by grounding the light body of an individual, empowering one's next step of evolution into human light beings. Selenite's frequency is resonant with the crown chakra, opening, clearing, and activating this energy center. And it'll transform it into a gateway to the higher levels of the self. Selenite wands direct this energy throughout the body and can be used as like magic wands or prayer sticks, which carry your intentions and thoughts to the higher self and beyond. So they're wonderful to integrate into any type of spiritual or religious practices or rituals that you have. They're great tools for healers, and they're effective as scanners within the energy field. And they dissolve any blockage and allow one's access to knowledge of spiritual origins. So spiritually, selenite's energy clears etheric blockages and debris, allowing for a freer flow of energy through the higher chakras, particularly the etheric chakras that facilitate connection and communion with the higher self. Emotionally, the calcium and sulfur base stimulates the emotional body and compels one to move forward with one's life. It aids in overcoming stagnation and prevents one from succumbing to the illusions of security and comfort, which is really important. Physically, it clears or bridges blockages and densities in the energy field. Selenite wands can be used to direct high-frequency energy into the body, stimulating physical healing. And if you want an affirmation for selenite, you could use, I move into the union with my higher self, and my interior senses are awakened. Again, I move into union with my higher self, and my interior senses are awakened. So, selenite is a wonderful 6th and 7th chakra stone. It kind of gives you a bluish, white, when you put it at the top of your head in meditation, the blue-white ray you can see and feel come down through all of your chakras. It's a great stone to protect yourself in a ritual if you are a shaman, initiate, or you practice shamanism. It can create a nice bubble around you and ground you and protect you. Even though it's not a dark colored stone, it is a wonderful stone to use in that practice, especially if you're going to be doing a shamanic journey. So selenite is an amazing stone to use. It's easy to get. It's not that expensive. You could get a pack of 6 selenite sticks that are about 4 inches long on Amazon, on I'm sure any other outlet and online, whether it's Etsy or eBay, something like that. But Amazon does have them, and they're not that expensive. There is another type of selenite I'm going to talk about, and it's a fairly new one, and it does really amazing things. If you think regular selenite does so much, wait till you hear about sunset gold selenite when I come back.
Hi, this is Jill Roberts from the show Psychic Today, and I want to talk about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number one, it's free. Number two, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Number three, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many other different apps and platforms. You can make money from your podcast, and this is a biggie, with no minimum listenership. With so many other podcast creators out there that I've tried, I would only use Anchor. I mean, there's no fee. It's completely free, and everything is at your fingertips. It's everything you need to make in a podcast in one place. So now download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, that's Anchor, ANCHOR.FM, or download the Anchor app. And I can't wait to hear your podcast.
Hi, and welcome back to Psychic Today. So we just spoke about selenite. Now we're going to talk about sunset gold selenite. With this stone, it creates through will, strength or intention, and strength of trust, unification of the brain, mind, and hear wisdom, and aligned with the higher self. The element is fire and wind, and the chakras are, of course, the 6th and 7th, as well as the 3rd, which is the solar plexus, and the 4th, which is the heart. One of the most unusual and rare forms of selenite is a material called sunset gold selenite, so named because of the golden color and radiance. These crystals are found in Texas, and they were discovered just in 2006. Of course, it is like selenite. It has a hardness of 2. It's closely related to fibrous gypsum, like satin spar, and it's finely grained. It's a variety, also known as alabaster. Sunset gold selenite crystals are irregular and rather convoluted, although with many of them, 2 of their 4 sides are flat and shiny. Most crystals of sunset gold selenite have a high degree of translucence and range from 2 to 4 inches in length. And they are just absolutely beautiful. Sunset gold selenite quickly opens and activates the 3rd eye and the solar plexus chakras. When it's held to the 3rd eye, its currents also move up to the crown, stimulating its opening. The intensity of energy delivered by this type of selenite is greater than most of the clear selenites, and it's the only selenite that easily reaches the solar plexus. Like Himalayan gold azeztulite, sunset gold selenite aids in developing the creating activity of the will. As we move more and more into the birth of what certain myths refer to as the new heaven and the new earth, the spiritual and physical realms united as one. The creating capacities of will become vitally important, which is why this also affects the solar plexus, which is a lot of where our creativity comes from. Through partnerships with the realms of spirit, which are no longer to be viewed as higher realms because they are everywhere around us, we learn to manifest whatever is needed or desired in alignment with the wisdom and harmony of the world. Sunset Gold Selenite aids in these transition times by stimulating our vision and our will to create. This creating activity, which we can begin to glimpse when we meditate with it, can free us from the vast array of limitations long believed to be the facts of reality. It is first and foremost an activity of trust. Through trusting the unknown while holding the essence of our heartfelt intention, we can play an essential role in creating a world more wonderful than we can imagine. Sunset Gold Selenite aids in developing the strength of intention and the strength of trust through enhancement of the power of the third chakra and its way of linking the solar plexus to the third eye. It helps one to feel the energy of trust and intention going out into the future through the solar plexus. It helps develop a feeling and seeing sensitivity through which one can feel one's creating forces joining with the world's soul creating forces, forming the stream of unfolding future. As a species, we have in the past experienced ourselves as powerless and have largely forgotten the astonishing power that can pour into the world through our third chakras. Working meditatively with Sunset Gold Selenite, placing one piece on the solar plexus and another on the third eye, one receives the aid of this ally in reawakening and strengthening these long dormant capacities. Adding 1 or 2 pieces of Himalaya gold azeztulite and or North Carolina gold and azeztulite crystals on these same chakras redoubles the effectiveness of the selenite crystals. All selenites are considered to be stones of the higher self. Sunset Gold Selenite helps one to attune to and feel the creating intentions of one's own higher aspects, the spiritual self. These stones encourage one to willingly align oneself with the intentions of your higher self, which always aims toward learning, wisdom, and joy. In a particularly powerful application of this stone, you are advised to place a 2 or 3 inch piece of it in the space between the heart and the solar plexus. You can meditate lying down while the stone is there, or can tape it during sleep. This placement will facilitate the integration of the heart and the solar plexus. It aligns your individual will with the will of the heart. Over time, this can merge the 2 chakras that makes creating capacities immeasurably stronger. Sunset Gold Selenite supports self-healing in the following areas: digestive difficulties, bowel sluggishness, impaired vision and hearing, muscle weakness, and addictive behaviors. Addictions and other sorts of bad habits are, from a certain perspective, diseases of the will. The enhancement of will forces offered by Sunset Gold Selenite can help you break through all sorts of old stuck patterns. It resonates powerfully with Agni Goldamberite, which is the stone that I will discuss in another episode. It's another amazing stone. Golden Labradorite, Phenakite, which I've covered, azeztulites, which I haven't gone through all of them, but the Himalaya Gold, the Loka Yellow, and or Golden azeztulites, all of the yellow-colored azeztulites, Herderite, Heliodor, and most other, citrine is another good stone. They all strengthen the Sunset Gold Selenite's ability to stimulate your will and creative capacities. Now, spiritually, Sunset Gold Selenite stimulates the capacity for creative manifestation through the will, which is a great stone for the law of attraction. And it teaches you a powerful intention that goes hand in hand with a high degree of trust. It can align one's will with the will of the heart. Emotionally, it can help you to overcome emotional difficulties, addictions, and bad habits due to a weakened will. It also helps the development of your self-worth and teaches you to follow your own heart with complete trust, which is so vitally important because we all have trust issues, especially when it comes to the heart. Sometimes we're a little bit jaded or gated, or we put up a wall. Physically, sunset gold selenite supports self-healing of weakness or imbalances in the bowels, digestive system, eyes, ears, and muscles. And if you'd like an affirmation for it, one could be, I trust my heart, and I exercise my will to create what the heart desires. Again, I trust my heart, and I exercise my will to create what the heart desires. So, sunset gold selenites and selenite are very powerful stones for the 6th and 7th chakras. However, this stone can help you with manifestation and opening up to your higher self. It kind of does everything selenite does, but in a different way. And what's amazing is when you do meditate with this stone, you're not going to get that kind of bluish white ray coming in. It's more of a golden, warming type of light. But it can be very powerful by coming in through the third eye, and it directly goes up through the crown chakra and down to the solar plexus at the same time. So it's very, very powerful. So just know that before you get it. I got mine through Robert Simmons's website, which is heavenandearthjewelry.com. I'm sure you can probably find it in other sources. I just tend to like to go to the main source. A lot of people on Etsy I've seen selling stuff like this, especially if it's a trademark of one of Simmons's stones. It's exactly the pictures that is on Simmons's website, and a lot of the times you can get it cheaper through him. So I'd rather go to the source than a third party, but that is entirely up to you if you can find it cheaper. But just beware of stones that are not, if you're not good at spotting fakes, I wouldn't chance it. I mean, for me, I just would rather go through Simmons because I know it's either Azazeo activated or it's the real deal. So, again, this is sunset gold selenite. It is very different looking than regular selenite. Selenite can come in kind of blocks. These are kind of shards, and they're not very long. Again, they're about 3 inches. But if you get 4 of them and you place them on the third eye, the solar plexus, the heart, and if you want the crown. And then again, you can amplify that energy with Himalaya gold azestulite, golden azestulite, and Satyaloka yellow azestulite on each place with the sunset gold. Then it will make it even more powerful. So I just absolutely love discovering new stones, and I love meeting them, interacting with them, and seeing what my meditative experience is with them and sharing them with you. And I hope you enjoy this, because this is something that I am so passionate about, and I know there are so many of you out there who are passionate about crystals and have knowledge yourself, and I would love to hear if you've experimented with these stones. You know, you can leave me a voice message through Anchor or whatever platform you're listening to this on, or you can email me or go to our new website just for this podcast, which is psychictodayWithJillRoberts.com. I'm going to be posting certain things there that you will not see anywhere else. So it's just for you guys, you know, and it's also the Facebook group, Crystalline Exploration. Look it up. join, and we'll have, videos, audios, pictures, conversations. It'll be absolutely mind-blowing and amazing because I love to talk about stones. I just came back from a trip to Herkimer. Since I live in New York City, every year I say, well, even though it's a long drive, I am in New York, and to not go to Herkimer County and get my own Herkimer diamonds is just absolutely silly. So my kids endure it, but I absolutely love doing it. It's a heck of a lot of fun, if you're into mining and you're a rock hound like myself, and you live in the area, or if you're planning a trip, definitely go. There's so much to do besides mining if you have kids. I'm going to do an episode on the experience up there as well. But stay tuned. I know this is a long episode, but I have so much to share. So I'll be right back.
Hi, and welcome back. We're talking about high-frequency stones that affect our 6 and 7 chakras, the third eye and the crown, and of course the etheric chakras, anything above the head. So the next stone I want to talk about is brookite. And the way brookite comes formed, it's almost like in little shards. I was able to get my hands on an actual natural cluster, and I can't tell you, the way brookite and especially phenakite, which is another very high vibrational stone, the way these two work, either separately or together, are just amazing. Now, brookite is a titanium oxide crystal, and it's got a hardness of 5.5 to 6. So if you do get a natural cluster, or you do buy them in shards, just be careful with handling them. Keep them in a safe place because they're not that hard. Okay, the Mohs hardness scale goes up to 10. So you figure 5.5 to 6, it's a little brittle. The crystal system is orthorhombic. It often forms in metamorphic rocks, especially high-grade or schists. It occurs rarely as an inclusion in quartz, and it's more commonly in squarishly charcoal color. Crystals under a ½ inch in size is usually the size of these beautiful stones. Good specimens are found in England, the French Alps, and in Arkansas in the USA. Its color is mostly frequently dark gray or black, but it can be brown, and whether it's a reddish brown or a yellowish brown. In the Alps, veins of brookite are often contain rutile and anatase and albite. So now brookite is one of the primary power stones for the expansion of awareness beyond the physical body. It's a powerful activator of the 6 and 7 chakras, which again is the third eye and the crown, and the etheric chakras above the head. It can align all the upper chakras with the rest of one's energy body, allowing one to explore the subtle realms with a highly sensitive and stable awareness. When used at the third eye in meditation, brookite can produce a deep, pulsating, rhythmic vibration that moves from the front of the forehead into the interior of the head and up through the crown. One may feel the physical eyes cross and turn towards the third eye, which is a desired goal of certain types of meditations, by creating a triangular flow of energy which seems to move up and out of the crown chakra. Allowing the process to continue, one may expand into consciousness of the various levels of the etheric, astral, and causal bodies. Often one will feel benevolent presence of spirit guides and angels encouraging and insisting this process of expansion. Removing the stones from the third eye, one may feel a slight or slow gathering in of one's energies as they return to normal. Yet such normalcy still retains the connection which has established with the higher domains. Brookite enables one to reach the expanded state in which one can communicate and commune with beings on the higher vibrational levels. It teaches one of the nature of the high levels of consciousness and of consciousness vibration. It can help one gain the cosmic perspective, so to speak, that allows one to see even unpleasant situations as beneficial to growth. It is an inspirational and energizing, assisting one with overcoming old patterns and moving ahead with greater inner development. Brookite will combine well with high vibrational stones such as phenakite, like I said before, any of the azestulites, danburite, herderite, naturalite, scolasite, Tibetan tekite, Sechuloka quartz, pedalite, tanzanite, ecclesial calcite, and moldavite. If you feel the need to ground brookite's energy more deeply in the body, zincite or black tourmaline are recommended. Brookite can be mounted harmoniously in jewelry with any of the stones mentioned above, plus sugilite or chaurite when an element of psychic protection is desired. For those who feel overstimulated by brookite's high vibrations, combining it with high lithium stones such as lilac lepidolite can calm down the individual without losing one across the higher realms. Now, I am sensitive to stones, but I'm not that sensitive. So for me, if it's a high vibrational stone like moldavite, like I've told you before in my shows, I just don't get that, sense of dizziness that people talk about or this spaciness. What I do and what I do now, which is when I am alone, when I don't have my kitties next to me, and I have the time, I actually put a sleeping mask over my eyes when I meditate because it's too easy to either feel light coming in because of the light in your room, even if you have the lights out, if sunlight comes in and it's during the day. I put the third eye, and it's also a great way to sit in a lotus position and without having to lay down and put a stone on your third eye. Of course, you can put a chakra stone right on the top of your head, but if you're just working with third-eyed stones, it's a great way to, darken out any ambient light and have the stone there against the skin where it's supposed to be. That way, when you have the visions of the bright light coming in and feeling the inner awareness of your mind, it's not coming from being out, the ambient light coming in or the sunlight coming in through your windows. Now, here's more about brookite. Now, according to Naisha Shan, she sees brookite as a powerful activator of the higher chakras, of course, especially the third eye, crown, and etheric chakras. It has a special ability to connect one to consciousness of space and to beings who come from other regions of space or from other dimensions. Brookite acts as a facilitator, allowing one to connect with ET and interdimensional beings and to establish communication with other forms of life and consciousness in the universe. Brookite greatly enhances the practice of meditation and facilitates access to the inner states of communion with creation. It also activates the chakra column or kundalini channel that rises up the spine It is excellent for those wishing to bridge the gap between the physical and spiritual realms. It enables us to access both nature spirits of the physical plane and the etheric guides of the spiritual realm. Brookite is an important stone in the ascension process due to its ability to ground high-frequency light energy into the body and physical plane. Now, spiritually, Brookite is an ascension stone, helping one to increase the vibratory frequency of the physical body. It enhances psychic communication and connection to extraterrestrial beings. It allows one to conceive of realities not based upon human consciousness and promotes broad-mindedness and tolerance of the viewpoints of others. It's also a great stone for people who are practicing with their psychic abilities, their clairsenses, or mediums, or any type of light worker. They should definitely have this stone in their arsenal. Physically, Brookite helps one to take in minerals, improving the assimilation of vitamins and nutrients from one's food. It also assists in the absorption. If you have a problem absorbing certain vitamins, whether you take them orally or from vitamin-rich foods, a lot of times people have a hard time absorbing these vitamins. Brookite is great for that. There is a great affirmation here that if you'd like to, during meditation, use it while working with Brookite. And it's, I open and expand my awareness for communication and communion with my higher self, my spirit guides, and the community of beings who love and serve the light. I'll say it again slower. I open and expand my awareness for communication and communion with my higher self, my spirit guides, and the community of beings who love and serve the light. So now we've spoken about the different types of selenite, Brookite, and I have so many more 6th and 7th stones to share with you. But if I keep on going, this episode will be way, way, way too long. So we'll do a continuation of this. I believe I will be talking about alexandrite. My experiences with it, it is a stone of joy and kind of fulfilling your heart's desire, but it also has a crown element to it, which is just extremely powerful. So stay tuned for the next episode once it comes out, because alexandrite will be one of those stones. Hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in this world. I'm sending you all my love and light.